Welcome to the Crazy Town Podcast. I'm Jonas.
And I'm TNT Dynamite, the explosive one. And today we have a very special episode. I feel like it's another special episode.
Okay,
because this proves some that I've been talking about for a long time.
It proves stuff?
It does, man.
Okay.
So recently, rapper Drake's company, Frozen Moments LLC, filed a petition in New York court Monday accusing the streaming service of Spotify and Universal Music Group of conspiring to inflate the streams of Kendrick Lamar's hit diss track Not Like Us.
Oh, so it pushed his thing and suppressed Drake's.
What they're saying is that through payola, which is essentially paying these streaming services to push the song.
Okay.
Through a smear campaign, which is being alleged essentially because Drake also filed a defamation lawsuit.
Okay.
A smear campaign to bolster this track so that it was put in everybody's ear. Like Spotify was pushing it, all the streaming services were pushing it. It was being advertised everywhere. And Drake is saying is that you cannot do that. You cannot pay for play. That's illegal. Now, you can pay streamers or independent people to say that they like something. That's okay to do. But when you start paying like the radio or you're paying a streaming service, if you're paying Apple you can't pay Apple to boast your sales. Now, they can advertise on the front page all they want to. That's something totally different. And I admit that it probably
that seems like that's what they would be paying for. What is he saying they paid for then?
So he's saying is that they paid to artificially inflate it with using bots.
Like they're out here just hitting play.
Yeah, so Not Like Us is the result of Lamar and Drake's weeks-long beef. It broke records on the Billboard, retaining the top spot on the Billboard charts. Frozen Moments describes in the filing as an entity wholly owned by Drake alleges that UMG launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services with the song. So there's a little bit of another angle here is that in summary, Drake and UMG have been negotiating a $600 million deal.
Okay.
He delivered on the first two albums of that deal. Lucian Grange, owner of
is that some Diddy stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. He didn't want to pay for that. So instead, he organized a smear campaign to devaluate Drake's brand so he didn't have as much leverage when it comes to renegotiations. This is not necessarily a Drake and Kendrick thing. In fact, Kendrick Lamar, I would say, is kind of like he may be in the blind. They might have just been like, we want you to put a song together. But it does seem awfully weird that all of the entities that surrounded this beef that came out and everybody was just like, fuck Drake at the exact same time. It seemed a little jumpy. Like if I'm walking down the street and I see one op, that's one thing. If I see all of my ops and all of my ops are dropping songs.
Yeah.
That's a little nuts.
Well, it's kind of funny because people. There's always conspiracy theories online. Is that the people use like the the commercial media to attack people at the same time. Like Elon Musk has said this happened to him. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's like MSNBC and CNN and NBC and are all at the same time blaring out anti-you sentiment.
Yeah.
And just like when any news story drops, it's like, bah, 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 bah. It's like, so same thing kind of with Drake. Like they decided it was his time to get the smear, right?
Well, they decided because they didn't want to. He had too much leverage. He was the world's most popular rapper at that time. But through this lawsuit, he is exposing the music industry or putting an eye on the music industry that could potentially expose that type of dirty dealing. Now, that's not to say is that Drake hasn't used bots or used some of these same tactics, but at this point, he's saying is like, if you're going to try to take me down, if you're going to try to throw dirt on my name to this extent, fuck it, I'm blowing the whole spot up.
Right.
So, like
it's
I
like
said,
we all play a little dirty, but if you
Yeah.
literally just like bringing in a dump truck of mud, like yo, like
and I mean, honestly, I feel like it was a little crazy, and I'm not here to say whether or not Drake won because I feel like he did. I feel like he won the beef. But we do have to realize that I'm sorry, I'm gonna be the one to say it, Jonas. I don't think "Not Like Us" is that great a song. It's a good song. It's not.
it's catchy, but like
The song is more popular than Old Town Road.
oh, is it really?
It surpassed Old Town Road. Come on.
And
You
just,
gotta
like,
tell me that song.
well, I thought it was really funny that, like they're putting out these songs, right? Like all these beef songs, and then one of them blows up and becomes like the biggest hit of all time. It's like that's insane. Not of all time.
That
but,
wasn't
like,
even my favorite song of the beef. he had such better ones in the beef.
yeah, it's just it's catchy.
Yeah, so
But I
Old
don't know.
Town Road, they had to re-release that song with Snoop Dogg and the Walmart Cowboy Kid like a bunch of different times in order for it to reach what it did. This song was attached to the largest rap beef that happened in decades.
Yeah.
But I'm still not really jocking the fact that it naturally
It took off that big.
Yeah, it's just not. So, in lieu of this, we know about the whole like Lil Wayne angle. On the most recent Kendrick Lamar album, he had a line in there where he talked about Lil Wayne a little bit, and it was in no way disrespectful. He was talking about how he might have let Wayne down, kind of referring to the fact that he got the headliner at the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So I just learned today that because of the recent litigation and the defamation lawsuit and the chance that Kendrick Lamar could perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl, they are actually thinking of removing him as headliner.
He's doing this so Kendrick can't call him a pedo on national TV. It isn't about the it isn't about the song.
Okay,
That's what it's about.
So which one is more realistic? I'm negotiating a $600 million deal with a record label, and they decide that they don't want to pay that much, and it's much cheaper for them to, instead of paying me $600 million, spend $150 million to make me look like an asshole. Or I don't want to hear some guy call me a pedo on the stage, so I'm going to spend all of my money to do so.
Depends how petty he is.
I mean, Drake is mad petty, and I love him for that. Honestly, all right, I love him for
He's
that.
like, I'm gonna do it just cause.
And I'm not trying to say is that I'm up here caping for, a man who I don't know. But when facts are laid out on the table, he wouldn't take it to this level if he didn't have any evidence, any proof, any hope of actually winning.
At this point,
a
he's
case.
like the feds. He's like, I got the case.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm coming with it.
And frankly, I would love to see Wayne at the Super Bowl too.
Wayne.
He's
So they're gonna
he's
take
the
out
greatest
Kendrick
of all
and put Wayne
time,
up there?
brother. What's that?
They're gonna take out Kendrick and put Wayne.
I would hope so. So Lil Wayne was, he's from that city.
Yeah.
It's his hometown,
That's
man.
why I saw a Lil Wayne thing in New Orleans. It was weird. It was a weird thing. It was cool, but
Oh yeah, you did go to New Orleans, didn't
yeah,
you?
it was like in this pizza shop. It was like his face coming out of a wall and his dreads coming out of the wall. And I was like, oh, that's Wayne. I forgot he is from Louisiana.
Yeah, he
but
gives back to that community, man.
but if I think that Kendrick won the beef, but if Drake and I thought the ultimate beef win was that he got the Super Bowl, but if Drake can then get him pulled off the Super Bowl, that's like all time beef win. Like he comes around, he's like bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and just comes out. He's like, oh no, take that Super Bowl away. And then they should give it to Drake instead. And then then he comes out on top, and he's like,
I mean, look, if he finds out that this is like some real ish, man, and Not Like Us loses, it's like it always has that asterisk next to its name. I almost feel like that's better than winning the beef because
the Barry Bonds of rap beefs.
Yeah, it's like look at what they had to do to mimic but a fraction of our power. You had to go to this extent to make me look like a jerk. I respect that, but I will throw this one little piece in that I found out that people were making fun of Drake. They were talking about Drake went from telling Kendrick to drop to telling him to stop to calling the cops. I thought that was hilarious, man. I saw that tweet and I almost died.
So is Drake losing respect over this in the community?
I'm sure there's some degree, because it looks suspicious right now. But if they do find out that it's true that yes, they use bots, yes, they use payola to increase sales, and like there's an agreement that they have. I'm not going to get into it. This is for dummies. This podcast.
Yeah. This is a 10-minute version.
There's some potential for some litigation to go through, brother.
All right,
there's some potential that millions of more dollars could be spent by Lucian Grange at the end of this.
I got some Orville Redenbacher in the pantry.
Amen, brother.
Hey. All right. That's all the time we have for today's episode. Please go to thecrazytown.com and subscribe for Jonas.
TNT.
Oh, yeah.